So after about 1 year with the Vivobarefoot Magna Trails, this little review is going to cover everything there is to know about these little pieces of footwear. If you haven't already seen it, check out my original Vivobarefoot Magna Trail review.
Today, we're going to be reviewing the Vivobarefoot Magna Trails.
I go into details on how it is, but that video is actually kind of more of like a first impressions. It was like the first 5-10 times using it. So this is after about 1 year of use, so I'm going to go everything what's good and also what's bad about these things. So I linked the official product page and the Amazon page down there so you could see that these are pretty damned expensive shoes. In Canada they run for $300 or something. I found them for $100 on sale, which is a pretty damn good deal. First thing that I'll notice is these laces actually decided to kind of strip out fairly quickly. After just a couple months they kind of started detaching from itself, which kind of sucks because then the entire shoe just kind of became a little bit more ugly. I've been too lazy and couldn't be bothered to change the laces. They still work fine, but it's all detached from the sheath. So the Magna Trails are designed for trails, hiking, running, walking, whatever the hell you want. And I wouldn't really say they're good for running. They're a little bit heavy, a little bit sloggy for that purpose. But they are great for trails. I've really put these things through their paces. I've used these nearly every day for the last 7 months. Biking, running, walking, dancing, partying, literally everything, and they've held up fairly decently. I mean, we can tell obviously that there's some wear, especially around this toe box and the laces, but they're still holding up fairly damn well. The soles are still surprisingly good shape compared to my Primus Trails, which fell apart a little bit quicker than these things. Yeah, this toe box region here, there's some chafing. That's just kind of where the foot folds when you're walking, and it's starting to slowly wear through that cordura, which is okay, bound to happen at some point. But this is a very consistent thing on Vivobarefoot shoes. My Primus Trails also wore out at this spot, and same on these. So hopefully the next versions of the Magna Trails or every Vivobarefoot shoe improves on this. If you're into mountain biking or biking in general, this pattern gives such good grip on the pedals. And so actually I've been using these buttloads just for biking. It's way better than the Tempest ESC that I reviewed, just because this tread pattern is so good and I love it. It feels nice. You could see my pedals worn in some of the rubber, but I'm doing multiple hours per day, many days a week, and still going strong. So actually these are my favorite biking shoes because they're a little bit more robust, more hard wearing, a little more feels better than the Primus Trails on the bike. So if you're into barefoot, hiking and biking, these are actually probably the ones I would choose. But let's talk about water resistance. So in my OG Magna Trail review,
Wow, perfectly dry.
the water resistance of these was okay, yeah, pretty good. My feet weren't getting wet, but boy, that didn't really hold up for the test of time. Because after a couple months, whenever it would start raining when I'm biking, the water would seep in, and not just seep in, my whole foot would get drenched. And now at the 1 year mark, they get drenched if I'm in a heavy rainfall and my feet are drenched. I would just go for the leather and wool Magna Trails because first, merino wool lining, and second, leather. Yeah, I mean, I like these, the Magna Trails, the Magna Trail 2, but I would go for the leather and wool, honestly, for a few different reasons. It's a good looking shoe. As far as barefoot shoes go, people will not be able to differentiate this from your average sneaker, your Jordans, or, I mean, no one's gonna care or give a shit, probably, but they look good, and some people have complimented. They're ooh, what are those? Whatever. I don't give a shit about fashion, but if I'm going to the techno club if I'm going out for a night. These are just, you know, my regular stompin' rompin' boots. And yeah, I covered in my original review of these that like trail running, nah, like they're good, they're fine, they're just a little heavy. I like lightweight agility, and you know, if you're into barefoot running, barefoot stuff, you'll want like a light, very minimal type of thing. So these aren't for running, these are more for trails. Still great for trails and all that stuff. In terms of comfort though, they are way comfortable, like as comfortable as can be. The break-in period kind of sucked. They were like really stiff, and like a lot of people get blisters from them at the beginning, but after that break-in period, these things just, I can wear them all day. They do get warm in like 20 degrees or hotter temperature, but like in terms of comfort, I've not had a single gripe with them past that initial break-in period. Overall, I would say these are a really good like multi-sport, multidisciplinary, multi-use shoe if you're going to the clubs or bars, if you're going mountain biking, if you're going hiking, if you're going to the techno clubs, if you're just going out and about. Like these are the like the Swiss Army knife, the British foot shoe of barefoot shoes. Fuck, that's a horrible analogy. Yeah, so they're not really waterproof, and like the water resistance, the cordura, it just kind of fades away after not too long. The laces, definitely not the best. They've just kind of worn through. The thing, they are durable. Like they wear, like I've used my footwear really hard. Like I do everything in them. I go sports, running, blah 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 blah. These have really survived like as much as I could hope. I love them for biking and mountain biking, or if you're on fixie or whatever. These things do damn good. I made a little blog post about these shoes, the review, also how they are for biking. In terms of sizing for the Magna Trails, I would size a half size down from your regular Vivobarefoot size, just because these actually ran a little large, but like they're comfortable as can be. I also made a Vivobarefoot sizing guide down there. All in all, I think they're damn good, super versatile barefoot shoes that are really like ready for everything. But like in terms of sports and everything, and like harder, like that kind of use, I would go with the Primus Trails. And even for mountain climbing, the Primus Trails, I climbed Devil's Head with just the Primus Trails, and they like did super well. Anyways, I think that's all I have to say about the Magna Trails. Please help algorithm boost me, like, subscribe, all that weird YouTuber garbage that everyone has to do. And catch you next time.